This session will consider how to drive environmental transformation, but in this case from the perspective of energy-intensive industries, whilst at the same time addressing the ever-pressing challenge of decarbonization. This session is called Stories of Transformation, Energy-Intensive Industries, and the conversation will be moderated by Joaquim Nunes de Almeida. He's the Director of Mobility and Energy-Intensive Industries at the Directorate General for Internal Market Industry Entrepreneurship at SMEs of the European Commission, who is coming straight away. Yeah, if you want to take the floor. And he will be presenting properly his guest, Martin Pay, who will also join him for this conversation. So let's give him a round of applause, even though it's only a few of us, but so that they feel that they have the warmth from us. And I'll leave you with it, Joachim. Thank you.
Hi. So, very happy to be with you here today on this discussion on one of the flagship decarbonization resilience projects that inspire us all in Europe. I don't know, looking at the organizers, how much time do we have? I think we've got like 20, 25 minutes, isn't it? So I've got with me a man who's behind one of the great developments on the steel industry or on heavy intensive industries in general, called the Hybrid project, which is carried out by a Swedish company called SSAB that has been producing steel since 1978. Steel is one of the greatest CO2 emitters right now. I once read that, just to give you a sense, that the steel industry in Germany emits 10% of the German emissions. So if you can think about what is 10% of the German emissions, we're talking about a lot of emissions. So he's behind the Hybrid project, which is a project that has managed to come up with a concept of green steel, powered by hydrogen, powered by hydropower, so entirely renewable, entirely green. He's been head of the business area, of the technical development area. Well, okay, so I'll jump into my first question. And his name is Martin Pay, which I probably forgot to say, and it's one of the most important things, is obviously his name. And one of the things, you know, we hear about this project. It looks very good, but when will there be quantities enough of green steel to make a difference? I understand that you're going through a pilot project. Production would start later in 2025. When do you think there will be green steel enough, volume of production enough in the market to make a difference?
Thank you very much. I'm really very happy to be invited to this session. Great opportunity to really introduce SSAB, what we have done with the steel industry's transformation. To start with, a very brief summary of steel company SSAB. It is based in Stockholm, Sweden. We are a Nordic-based steel company with production facilities in Sweden and Finland, which are based on using blast furnace technology, producing high-quality steel, utilizing the northern Swedish iron ore mine resources. The company has a very long history. The company itself was restructured in 1978 to SSAB, but the oldest production facility that's still producing steel dated back to 1878. So we have, as a company, a history of 145 years making quality steel products. SSAB operates also 2 steel plants in the United States, which are based on scrap recycled from the market using electric arc furnace, producing heavy plate products. SSAB's operations using blast furnaces in Sweden and Finland are among the most efficient facilities that are in operation today. Our energy consumption is, in principle, at the moment, lowest possible using that technology. Our production sites in Luleå and in Roe in Finland, Luleå is Sweden, have been among the ones that have set the benchmark for hot metal in the European Union's ETS system since it started. And they are still the ones that are. Yes, we continue. Even though that we have the most advanced blast furnace technology today, SSAB as a steel company, we are still the largest CO2 emitting companies in both Sweden and Finland. So SSAB's own direct emission from our steel operations stands for 10% of Sweden's total carbon dioxide emission every year. And we stand for 7% in Finland. And especially Sweden and Finland have been very strongly pushing the transition to a net zero economy within the European Union. So SSAB becomes a key to make those ambitions possible. So that was the background why in 2016, SSAB teamed up with our partners, LKAB, the mining company, and Vattenfall, the Swedish energy company, and we initiated the Hybrid initiative. Hybrid stands for Hydrogen Breakthrough Iron-Making Technology. The idea is to replace coal that is used today for iron ore reduction in blast furnaces and using fossil-free hydrogen instead. And with that technology, we can eliminate the root cause of CO2 emission when we make steel from iron ore. So we started the journey in 2016, made so far significant R&D investments. We have been doing research since we started, and we have invested in a pilot research program. And so far, we have spent around 200 million euros in R&D alone. And we have been successful in the R&D work, and we have achieved with the pure hydrogen-based iron ore reduction in a shaft furnace-based process at our pilot plant in Luleå. And in 2021, we showed the first steel that had been made in this, with this technology. I have a small piece in my pocket showing really the steel that we can make using this technology without CO2 emissions. And those first deliveries of steel that we made with this technology in small scale used in the market. And with that, we have also delivered to a number of other strategic customers who have shown different products in the construction industry, automotive, of course, but also other heavy equipment manufacturing. So the technology is proven. We can do this at this pilot scale. Our next step is to scale up.
And how are you going to do it exactly? That, I mean, how are you going to scale up? How scalable up is it? How can your example be replicated across other industrial sectors? That would be my next question.
Yes. So the next step is, of course, to show that this technology works also at a commercial scale. We are right now making all the preparations to make the first industrial scale facility. Our aim is to get this up and running in 2026, so quite soon. We've been working with it for quite some years. And SSAB's board has already decided to make investment in a new melt shop in one of our mills in Sweden. At the same time, we are together with our partners moving ahead with a hybrid demonstration project that will make 1.35 million tons of hybrid sponge iron per year. So from 2026, there will be commercial volume of fossil-free steel on the market. So that is the first step. The second is then our board also made a decision in January last year, 2022, to speed up our remaining site transformation. So our board made a principled decision that we will invest around 5 billion euros in the coming years. So we will transform the whole Nordic production system around 2030. So building 2 completely new mini mills, one in Luleå, one in Roa. When those mills are up and running, then we will shut down, phase out current production facilities based on coke oven plants, blast furnaces, BOF melt shops, go over to full, fossil-free steel production. And then at that time, SSAB will be able to deliver in total around 6.57 million tons of such products to our market.
And your price is competitive. I mean, you don't have, I mean, to what extent does this green premium play a role? Are people buying your products because they're commercially attractive? Is it because of the green premium that they can pass on to consumers? How do you see that? Is it because your low energy prices, because you've got a good energy mix in Sweden? How do you justify, I mean, how commercial do you see your...
Yeah. The first step, of course, is really to convince our customers that steel made with this new technology has the same high quality, which we have shown. So now our customers are very satisfied with this. And then we are in a conversation with our current strategic customers, because we are delivering high quality steel to them already today. And when we shift the technology, of course, there will be discussion how to share the green premium that we jointly create along the value chain. So from mining company, energy company, steel company, to manufacturing companies like Volvo Group and others. We have demonstrated now with these trial deliveries that this can work. And of course, in the long run, we believe that in the beginning of this industry transition, which will take some time because we can't just do it overnight, there will be a certain green premium in the beginning. In the long run, we believe that when this technology is widely adopted, then the premium will disappear. There will be the way to make steel.
It will just be the way to make steel. But yeah, but in 2 years, 3 years' time, if you start buying your steel will compete fairly with, let's say, call it gray steel. I mean, or brown steel. Your steel will be competitive, will be commercially competitive.
Yeah, for our case, we are now planning to scale this up. So our customers are waiting for really this fossil-free steel when we get ready. In the meantime, we have also started to launch from this year, a product we call SSP Zero that is made in one of our US mills using completely recycled scrap, using bio-coal and biogas instead of fossil coal and natural gas in our current manufacturing process. And that steel product with a third-party certification, we can keep the Scope 1, Scope 2 emission below 50 kilo per ton steel. And we have called it the SSP Zero product. This product is now introduced on the market. So our customers that are waiting for these hybrid commercial volumes, they can start use this in the meantime.
Yeah.
So that has been important for our customers.
But to what extent, I mean, what people say often is you can make this in Sweden because you've got vast amounts of renewables, you've got hydropower, but most of Europe has a less good energy mix, and so what you're doing in Sweden could not be done elsewhere in Europe. What would you say about that?
Overall, it is, of course, clear that to do this transition means we replace coal that we today import to our facilities with electricity, fossil-free electricity. And we have a good starting point in Sweden, especially in northern Sweden, as you mentioned, with the hydropower, wind power. So some locations will have, say,
a better
condition to start. But that does not mean that this technology will not be spread to other places, because gradually we see the investments in renewable electricity with solar, wind, and so on. So conditions will be more relevant also in other parts of.
So you think sooner or later nothing prevents the project in France, Italy, or Germany to be as commercial as yours?
In the beginning, we have seen that since we started this journey, there were a lot of reluctance in the beginning, but now there are gradually more and more projects announced. And I think that's a good thing, because to do this transition, we can't wait. We need to run as fast as possible. And some of the projects start with using natural gas as a transitional step, and then gradually go over to hydrogen when it becomes more, say, available. I think that is important, so that we start to move away from the blast-based technology, go over to a more future-proof technology.
Exactly. The more people start copying you, the more you're in a comfortable position, because you become the norm rather than the exception. I guess that there's a bit of a movement in that direction, no? I mean, you've been, and that's quite remarkable. I mean, I think your boss told me once, I mean, you are the product of the ETS system, that you felt the carbon price, you got the signals from regulation, you did so you adapted by doing this project. But I mean, we regulators, we policymakers, from a policy toolbox point of view, what would you recommend us to do to support projects like yours? What do you expect from the EU regulatory, finance? What would you want from the Commission?
Yes, it's important to really keep the ambition to move to the future, more sustainable way of manufacturing technology, say phasing out using fossil fuel, producing steel without CO2 emission is not only cutting the steel industry's own emissions, but it enables a long-term sustainable manufacturing industry in Europe. Because our Scope 1, Scope 2 emissions is our customers' Scope 3 emissions upstream. So we really enable the whole value chain. That is extremely important. So the policy frameworks really need to support the collaboration along the value chain, because we, as a steel industry, cannot do it alone. We cannot, by ourselves, go to invest in mining industry, energy industry. We cannot use steel ourselves. We are one part in an important value chain. So that is important to really have high ambition. But also in terms of support to this technology, we believe it's important that financial support really prioritize new technology. Support breakthrough technology, really create the possibility to solve the root cause of CO2 emission, and because that is extremely important. We are still not there yet. So that is number 2. Number 3 is, of course, really we need to create a transparent standard. What is green products? Because that is extremely important, really, that promote say, technologies that in the long run will be winners.
Yeah. On that note, I can leave you as good news that we have prioritized green steel and aluminium as one of the first deliverables of the new Eco-Design for Sustainable Products regulation that should come into force before the EP Parliament elections next year. And there will soon be there is a policy-making process that is already running on how to do a delegated act that could come forward in 1 or 2 years in trying to define what green steel and aluminium is. I would like us all to congratulate Martin Pei and SSAB for this great experience they had on producing green steel. I mean, considered as sort of the epitome of the dirty industry, but a badly needed industry. They've shown the way on how to do green steel in a commercial way by the production by using green hydrogen. It's an example. It's something that we would like to see replicated all over the place. Thank you very much to Martin Pei and to SSAB for what they have done. Congratulations. I suppose that this means years and years of effort. It's been a pleasure to be here with you, and wish you and everybody else a great industry day here in Malaga.
Thank you very much.